Welcome to Saturday Night Live from our regular location with hopefully wonderful Wi-Fi. Last week was a total stinking bust. So if you're new to our channel, we go live every Saturday night, 8:30 Mountain Time, and we share thrift hauls. We talk about what we're gonna do with it, how much we paid, and what we'll sell it for. Lots of people just watch us out of curiosity, and some people are in the business and kind of want to know what to find when they're out thrifting. So if you have questions, comment below, let us know, and if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe and notifications because we love new friends.
Yes. Plus we have that big old farmhouse project going too on the side.
We have lots of DIYs. We actually have over 500, almost 600 videos now. So if you ever want to know how to do something, just type Jami Ray Vintage and then fill in the blank in the search engine. And something will probably pop up.
All right, thrift store haul. Let's get right into it. We're gonna dive in. We're gonna do a little bit of painting tonight. And we're using milk paint, which we don't do often in live videos because you gotta mix it up, but we'll be painting some stuff.
And we do have some like pretty big news.
Yes.
To me, I feel like for me it's bigger news than even buying the house, but maybe for you guys it won't be, but we're gonna announce it like about 15 minutes in-ish.
When we get done with the thrift store haul, once we start painting.
Yeah, and if you know what the big news is, don't spoil it. No spoilers.
All right, so we got we got this toolbox. It's actually in really great shape. It was $5.
I'm the one that picked it up. Zeb usually loves to just keep them. He never lets me sell them.
I have like 8 of them now, so I think I could let 1 or 2 go. But the tray is still in it. Sometimes you get them without the tray. It's a little bent up.
A bath.
That's an easy fix with some pliers.
Sometimes I like to sell just the trays because people will use them like on their coffee table for arrangements and then use like the toolbox to plant flowers in or wherever. We bought it for $5. We'll probably sell it for somewhere around the $15-ish range.
Yeah.
And like I said, I might even like move this little tool caddy thing out and price that separately because sometimes people like these just big and open. I don't know, it seems a shame to break them up, so probably keep it together.
Let's leave the marriage together.
The marriage together. We're gonna paint it. So I would sell it for $15 as is, but since we're painting it, it's probably gonna be somewhere like the $25 range, depending on how cute it is.
So I was just perusing through and I found this giant corbel. I was hoping there was 2, but there's not. There's only
Nobody
1.
needs 2 of those. It's giant.
It was $6 and they wanted to make sure we knew about it because look at all those price tags on it. It's got a couple up here too and a couple back behind. So paint it up. We will sell this probably for what, 20, 25?
Yep. So Cherished Hall says, hi from Arkansas. My first order arrived this week. I'm now proud owner of IOD knob topper stamps.
Ooh,
that's
those
exciting
are fun
because
ones.
we're going to be using those on these nightstands. Probably not tonight, but whenever I get nightstands or dressers without good knobs, almost always I use knob topper stamps, and they have literally saved me hundreds of dollars. Just a little shout out. While you're watching, if you see issues, paint, or products, you can pick them all up at jamirayvintage.com. We'll drop the link below.
Yes. All right, candlesticks. Jamie really loved these. They were $2 each for the big one and the little one. I figured this one would be like $1, but you know, whatever. It's half the size, half the price, but that's not how they priced it.
And in our shop, the small one will sell for about $9.95 and the tall one about $12.95.
Yep. And we'll paint those probably white or like an apothecary color. We've been going a lot with like browns and blacks, but the candlesticks sell really well in the apothecary color and the white color. They always sell
somebody
well.
bought all of my white. I have like 3 white candlesticks in the store, so I'm thinking white because I only have 3 left. And we're gonna need a lot of candlesticks.
So this one was $2, and it's a little bit different style, shorter, a little fatter, but also will get painted.
I'm not pregnant. Don't, Cindy, no. I have 5 children, and my 6th child is my Jami Ray Vintage job situation. So let's just get that out in the air. I've been working out. I'm not pregnant.
I like how that came up.
They want me to paint the toolbox pink. I was thinking about pink, but wouldn't that be weird with like the red insert? I don't know.
Maybe. We have other plans for it. If that doesn't work out, we'll go back pink on top of that because, you know, the more layers of paint, the better. So I snagged these right as we were leaving. You know, we'll always decorate with lemons. Jamie's like, it's too late in the season for lemons. I'm like, you know what? We're going to make an off-season section in the shop.
Caitlin says pregnancy is the last thing we need.
Oh.
My
You
baby's
know-
going to kindergarten.
You know, if
For
it
sure.
happened, we would roll with it and be grateful for the situation. But right now, please no.
Oh, fun. So Sally says hello from Phoenix. She teaches at New River Elementary, and she wants to go to the plant bar because New River is right there by
Nice.
where the plant bar is.
Yeah.
Also, you guys, if you live in Arizona, go to Plant Bar AZ in New River, and it's like on the border of New River and Anthem.
Yeah, it's on
And you
I-17.
can buy our products there too.
You can
so.
eyeball it from 17 going up to Flagstaff.
Yeah, and it's owned by my nephew, and they have amazing succulents, and they're just a really great family-owned business.
So, we got a muddler. Always fun because, you know, you don't really see them much anymore. They were used in those strainer colander things to kind of puree fruits and vegetables and things for canning, and fruit leather is what my mom always made out of it. But $1.50 for the muddler. We will probably leave it old and aged
Oh
just
yeah, you
how
don't
it
think
is.
that patina is perfect. It's patina perfection. Okay, so hold on, we have a question. Amanda says, off topic, how do you become a channel member? So there is, next to the subscribe, there's a join button, but also if Caitlin's on here, she can drop that link to you with the channel membership information on there, and if you click it, it'll tell you all the things that come along with our channel membership for $5 a month.
And if you have an iPhone or an iPad, it's in the description.
Yeah, it doesn't always pop up with the join, so if you're on an iPad or an iPhone, just click the description box and you can get the link to channel membership.
So another rolling pin. These are like, so we buy them for $1 to $2, and they're a real quick, paint the handles, sand them down, clean them up real good, re-oil them. Takes maybe 10 minutes to do that, and in 10 minutes I'm gonna make about $10 on these because we sell them for about 11 to 12.
$10.95 to be exact.
And if you count the cost of the oil and the paint, maybe I'm making $9.50.
Yeah, it doesn't take hardly anything, and it's something you can knock out. Like if you had a bunch of them, you could literally knock out like a dozen in an hour, no problem.
Plus I like the little ribs on the handle up here.
Oh, Jane says it's a pounder for making sauerkraut. You could use it for that too.
Okay.
Let's see if we've got any other questions. Just lots of people talking about babies that came when they weren't planning it, including Caitlin. Her little baby, she has two little boys that are like a year apart. They were both over here today. Jack had so much fun with his cousins. He had Caitlin's boys and he had Zeb's cousins' kids over, so it was fun. We had a good time.
We are short on books, so Jamie went and hit up the very old books section, and that one is so old I can't even read.
So they all, I believe, are from around 1930 to 1940. That's usually, I like to have them at that age and older. When they start to get in the 50s and 60s, they're not as interesting to me, but yeah. So which one is that?
It looks like it's English 101, language in the elementary school, composition, spelling, and writing.
And that one was copyrighted in 1930 something. I was reading the.
This is actually looks like a for teachers, fundamentals in teaching of language.
Can I paint over an item that has been sealed with DIY wax? I would suggest removing it with mineral spirits. If it's been over a month and the wax is really hard and it's just like decor, sure. If it's a dresser, you never know, because wax is technically a resist, which can cause the paint not to adhere if it's like layered on there. But I have done it many times. It's just not like suggested.
We find this a lot in old books. A lot of times people would give books as gifts back in the day. This one is dated 10/20, 1946. I can't read that handwriting.
Yay, welcome new member Amanda Moore. It looks like she found out how to be a channel member. Welcome.
All right.
We have some fun stuff coming up. All right, well, while you're looking for that, Heather Jordan says, how do we share the video when you're live on Facebook? So if you click that share button that's underneath there, you're gonna hit copy link.
It's like a little arrow.
It's a little, yeah, copy link, and then you'll have to, if you're going to be sharing from the app that you're watching on, you'll have to hop out of the live real quick, and you can paste the link and hit share, and that's how you can share on Facebook.
Either someone was very organized with their books, or this came from a library. Although it says property of Susan Johnston, but it's looking library-ish.
It is libraries. In fact, inside it's stamped, it says it's no longer property of whatever the library is. So
Oh,
you know
Davis
it's not
School
stolen.
District.
Yeah, but it's kind of old too. Like it's from like I don't remember.
So copyright on this, 1934. Original copyright 1923, so this is a reprint.
Yeah, that one's cool. And then last but not least, a German hymnal from the 30s. It was really cool. I like the color on it too.
Yeah,
I don't always, I liked for good context, I like them to be old, but I also am always looking for good, fun colors because most people just use them for like display. And I want to do a display in the shop that's like assorted by colors, so like all certain colors together, kind of like a rainbow. I think that would be fun.
And then we got this basket offering. I had a hard time finding the price earlier.
It was $5.
And I think it fell off of it.
And that's like a $20-ish basket because it's pretty big.
It's a cool shape.
Yeah, it's like a really big locker basket.
And it has like these, part of the side is ribbed down, so it's got almost like little feet.
And I don't think it's super old because it's plastic coated, but it's still cool.
Well, I want someone to give me a book as a gift. I haven't been gifted a book in years.
All right, Zeb, help Zeb. My spray gun is dripping from the front tip area, so what, because there's a lot of things that could be going on with your spray gun. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to PM Jami Ray Vintage on Facebook with a little bit more information about it, and we'll see if we can help you.
And possibly pictures.
Yeah, and possibly pictures of what's going on, and we will help you if we can. Might not be till Monday, but if you've got a question, it's probably not something that can like directly be answered today. Can we paint the basket? Yep. I would not brush that thing. You'd be all day like, but you could totally put the DIY paint in the sprayer and spray that thing all day long.
So we actually got 2 of these. Let me see if I can bring the camera around.
Not too shabby. Patty finally spent her JRB gift card that Dina gave her.
Fun.
Nice. Dina's a good friend.
All right.
Yeah, Terry, I'm not going to paint the basket. I'm going to leave it the way that it is. I like the red color. It's kind of fun. Plus, Christmas is coming, so, you know.
Yeah, it'll go perfect for Christmas. So we have this. I'm having trouble. I can't find a maker's mark on it, and the whole thing is
so heavy.
Plywood based with an oak top and oak faces on the drawers, and it's not a veneer. It's solid oak, except for, I guess the sides are veneered oak or veneered pine, but it is a beast. And it's got a little bit of drawer trouble. I'm gonna have to redo the runners a little bit, but you can see it's got 1/2-inch pine, and the whole drawer, even the bottom, is made out of that 1/2-inch pine, and this thing probably weighs over 100 pounds. I'm assuming, just based off of construction and the sharp, crisp lines of the routed edge, usually a manufacturer will roll those a little more, that it's probably homemade. If not, a shop probably custom made it for somebody. It doesn't look like it's a mass-produced item. We have 2 that match, and they're done really well. So we're pretty excited about these, because anytime we can find a pair of nightstands, they usually go like that as soon as we throw them in the shop, and sometimes they don't even make it. And these ones are nice. Modern nightstands are a little bit taller, so these ones here have that height for a taller, more modern bed. So we'll sell them. They're 15 a piece, and the other one's just sitting back over there, but I'm not going to lift it up here to show you it's heavy. But they should be pretty awesome once we get them all done. I'm not sure what color Jamie will paint them. I'm going to have to fix the runners, see how the drawers want to fall down. They're not really sitting in the runners. I think it's just because these runners are worn out or spread or something. And I'll probably just crimp them back down, and they'll run just fine. All right.
Don't worry, I haven't left. I'm wanting to mix colors.
Jamie's gonna color blend. Also, if you haven't checked out merchandise, we have a couple new designs for shirts and things, including this hat, up on the website.
Alright, so we're gonna go with exciting news, and then we're gonna have like exciting news update that you probably already know about, but I want to remind you guys.
And then we're gonna show you the door that we promised we'd show you that we're gonna use for the pantry.
Then we're gonna show you the door that's gonna be our new pantry door. Because remember, the old pantry door, which we can show you, it's in our pantry right now. It's going to be the bathroom door of the new house. And then we have another door that you probably have seen in pictures maybe if you follow me closely, but that's going to be the new pantry door.
It's made it into a couple of tours.
Big new excitement. So it happened like literally like an hour or two, like finalized right before we went live.
But that's why we can announce it, because it's finalized.
3, 4, has it been 4 days since I talked to Molly? Or 3 days?
4 days ago we found out.
4 days ago, I talked to Molly on the phone, and she said that they were planning on closing the store the end of August. And not because it's not doing well or that they're not successful, it's just that Molly wants to focus on other things. She is a classical trained pianist, and her husband is a professional bowler, and they have other passions that they want to give their time to. And so they've stopped custom painting, and they're going to downsize to a very small space. It's just them, and just be open, like a little pop-up shop, a couple days a week. And they're going to work on their online business because they would like to have more free time.
So in case you don't know, the space that we rent, that we have our shop in, that we put all of these thrift store finds in, we rent from Molly and Clay. And we've got about a 20 by 10 space in the back of their bigger shop.
Yeah, and we've been there for about 2 years, and we worked really hard to build the brand. Anyway, so initially I was like, well, I'll just have to find another store that I'm going to sell at. And then I thought, well, there's no other stores. So I was like, well, maybe I need to find a place to rent. Sorry, there's like, oh, this has not been closed well. Can you hand me
the gypsy green for you?
Can you hand me that new gypsy green pint over there?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was distracted
you need to
by
get on with the announcement.
Sorry, you should put your lids on the paint, just PSA. I probably could add some water to this. We'll just experiment later. Anyways, and then I was like, what the heck? Why would I rent somewhere else? So I text Molly and I said, hey, what do you pay for rent? And she's like, $1,400 a month. And I'm like, that sounds doable. So I asked Seb, I'm like, how do you feel about taking over Molly's lease and making a Jami Ray Vintage flagship store instead of just having a retail store, like having a whole store all to ourselves that we're in charge of, that we're big people, adults, that we run, like not like a baby situation like currently. And so I'm feeling a little overwhelmed.
So we've always said we don't want to necessarily have a shop because we don't want to manage it or run it. And right now, I tell you what,
I know. I was like,
the house and the stencil launching wholesale and the paintbrushes that were coming, or the stencil brushes that we're coming out with, I'm like,
got a lot.
One more thing, just pile it on.
So I called Debbie because that's what I do. She's my shop guru, and Debbie's like, well, so last week I was talking to Karen Berg. So if you don't know Karen, she's like the retail director for DIY Paint, and we're like, what if Molly ever closed? What would Jami do? Because as a retailer, you have to have a space, which they forgot. I already have Plant Bar AZ. I sell there. But anyways, I digress. And she's like, in her mind, she thought it's going to happen. Molly's going to close and Jami's going to take over the shop. But she didn't say anything. And then when I texted her, she's like, I knew this was going to happen. I was like, Debbie, how do you know these things before I know these things? Anyway, so that's the story. Molly's will be closing the door the end of August. We have a market coming up in August. And we're going to take a week off from the house when we submit for permits for the addition. And we're going to go to the shop, fill it all up. And the second week in September, our shop space at Molly's will become the Jami Ray Vintage flagship store. So we're super excited. We're super blessed. We're hoping you guys can help us out and share it with all your friends. Anybody you know that lives in Utah, that's thinking about going to Utah, that maybe wants to come here on a vacation destination. We got to get people in that door because the rent's not too bad because we're actually going to use it for our shipping warehouse, which is great because our website's been currently being run out of our house, like a bedroom in our house, and we've outgrown that. But we're also going to have like a whole bunch of employees because obviously Zeb and I cannot be there running the shop day in and day out, plus do all the YouTube, plus do the home renovation, plus raise 5 kids. So we're going to have a full staff.
We're going to find someone to manage it and train them
Thanks,
up.
Dina. So anyways, yeah, so we're going to be, so if you're local to Utah and you're interested in possibly applying for the store, email customercare@jamirayvintage.com because we're going to be, Monday, Caitlin and I are sitting down and making a hit list of things we need to do, and we're going to, top of the list is hire some people. Especially since we're going to France in October. We got to get things rolling. Anyways, that's big news number 1. And big news number 2 that you probably already know about, but just want to remind you guys that Jami Ray Vintage wholesale stencils, so the stencils that we sell are going to be available for wholesalers on the 15th. But if you would like to sign up to be a wholesaler ahead of time before the launch.
To be a retailer.
Sorry, well, to be a retailer.
We're going to be selling them at wholesale.
Sorry, if you want to be a retailer for JRV stencils, Caitlin will drop the link to the email. I believe it's info@jrvwholesale.com, but I'll have Caitlin drop that on there so that way you guys got that information.
Hey,
So
I was coming back because I wanted to say welcome
Oh.
to Jamie Louise, but I
Thanks,
didn't want to
Jamie
interrupt your
Yeah,
thing.
no, you guys are awesome. I feel like with this house that we bought and the things we have going on with that and the renovation, you guys have been so supportive. People have been praying for us, and the website's doing really well. Lots of people ordering on there to support that. So I have no doubt that we'll be able to do well at this. And, you know, part of me was like, maybe just get out of the whole retail game, because we do well on YouTube and we do well on our website. But the thing is, it's the people. It's the people. That we have so many people that come to the shop here locally that depend on us to provide these products to them. And I want to be able to continue to do that and in an even better way.
Plus, we wouldn't be able to do these thrift store hauls.
Where would we put all this stuff?
if we had to do that. And that's one of our funnest videos every week. I love doing it.
And I love to shop. I'm pretty good at it. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Okay, drop the link. Caitlin, so the application is at jrbwholesale.com. So if you click that, the information's on there. So sweet. Thank you, Caitlin. Caitlin's been working super hard. She's like already on top of everything. I'm gonna grab a fork so I can mix my paint.
Her part-time job has turned into a full-time job. All right, so while Jamie was giving the announcement, this is obviously, we don't clean this up. You know, we don't want the kids to confuse this mug.
Thank you, Lee, for that support. We appreciate that.
What did Lee do?
She gave us a super chat.
Oh, awesome.
All the way
Thank
from
you.
Australia.
Thanks. But so this is the milk paint mug that we use, not to be confused with regular drinking mug.
I don't think anybody is going to use regular.
So, you know, anyway, so I just have one scoop. We're using pantry door, and I'm going to put an equal amount of water in there, and then I'll put a scoop of Extra Bond because this metal is slightly shiny, and I'm not going to sand it or prep or do anything. We're just going to paint and see what happens with the chippy goodness.
Don Bowden, it's a new baby store. That's
Yes.
right. So I mixed up about 50-50 apothecary to, well, maybe 2 parts apothecary to 1 part gypsy green. And I made like a sage green. Can you guys see that? It's like sagey. And that's what color I'm going to use to paint this big behemoth corbel situation. So the good news is there's going to be so much junk coming in because we have to fill up an entire store.
Yeah, we're going to be the only ones in there, so we're not going to have any other retailers.
We're not renting space out. It's just going to be, and I'm going to increase the size of our display. So would you do me a huge favor, sweetie? Would you put that down? Yeah, it's like cramping my style. Oh, thank you, humble homesteaders.
All right, so you can do this with a fork. I like an immersion blender because it's fast.
Oh, what does Extra Bond look like? Did you show
I haven't put the Extra
It
Bond
looks
in
like
yet.
white, thick glue. That's the only way I can explain it.
It's behind you. You want to add...
How much square footage is the store? It's probably like 2,000.
I would say, yeah.
But not all of it's show space. Some of it's going to be
kitchen.
Our warehouse shipping and fulfillment is going to be out of the shop. So
I would say there's 1,500 feet of floor space or close to that.
yeah, it's a good sized store. Thanks, Janet. I appreciate that. Sweet. Susie, you missed the news. We are taking over the lease at Molly's and having our own store, the Jami Ray Vintage flagship store. So we're going to basically own the store instead of renting space. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's a good, you know, it's good timing and it's hard timing because we're busy, but good in that the kids are going to go back to school in a few weeks. Even little Jack.
Going to kindergarten.
Going to kindergarten. Oh, thanks, Chris and Janine. You guys are too sweet. It smells like Elmer's glue as well, yeah, but it's not. I put it on my hand. It doesn't peel off the same. That's how I tested it because I was curious. Oh, Marilyn, you guys put everybody to shame for how hard you work. Let me let you know, it is not just Deb and I. Caitlin, my shipper, Ivy, and thank you, Tracy, and my sister-in-law, Mariah, who's now my retailer director. They all work with us and do amazing, and we're hoping to hire some new employees that are just as awesome as the ones we have because we're a family. We all do it together. All right.
So this is Extra Bond.
What is? I mean, it's not as thick as like glue.
I don't think
know.
it's.
Can you smell it? Put it close. They can smell it.
Yeah, can you guys smell it? Get a whiff of that. It looks kind of like thin milk or thick milk. All right. So what I've done, I did a scoop of water, a scoop of milk paint, and now I'm going to do 1 part Extra Bond.
So,
and that is the full strength ratio that you want to mix up?
So Terry has a good question. She says, if anyone else currently rents space there, they want to continue, they will have to go elsewhere. So it's me and Molly, and there's one new booth that's in there, but they've only been there for a few months, so they are actually leaving, and there's nobody else that rents space there currently. It's just, for a long time, for about 2 years, it was just Molly and I. So, and it's not in my business, like, to have booth rental is great, but it's not in my business plan to do that, and the space really isn't that big for like all the products that we have, so we'll fill it out. And as we're expanding, we're gonna need the room. Right, Caitlin is the best, Chris. Yeah, and yeah, it was just Molly and I, and then one small room. Like I said, was these cute little sisters, but they're leaving, so there's no. We're not kicking anybody to the curb.
All right, I'm gonna paint this toolbox. Those of you who've been waiting to see the cool doors, just keep hanging out. We'll get that in a second.
We're going to show them the doors too. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to let the milk paint sit for a minute because you want to let that kind of mix all together and the pigments get all saturated.
Jamie, be careful. Many couples move into a new house to them, and before they know it, they are pregnant. It really happens. Please pray it doesn't.
Okay, so this is our pantry door. Oh, we have
Unless
a full.
it's God's will, because you know in that case, really, we're not in control. He is.
We have a full video on doing this door here.
Thanks, Sally.
Here, that's a bad view. Let me bring the camera around. Hang on. All right. Watch out for the stuff inside. Okay,
yeah,
so
my pantry's not clean in there, so.
So we have a full video on this door. This is going to become the bathroom door, and we will leave it painted just like that because the trim in the house is going to, or the doors in the house are all going to be black, right?
Yeah, but this is in like the 100-year-old part of the house. The rest of the doors will be in the new addition. So they'll be black. They probably won't be chippy like this, but they will be black because the whole entire house will be white. Okay, and then let me show you the other door that is. This door is probably the coolest door Jamie ever brought home. Yeah, it's got the original wavy glass, and this other door, first of all, that pantry door came from my friend Brooke from Start at Home. She's on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel. She's awesome. She used to use it as a display. It had like 1,000. Yeah, it was free. And then this other door Zeb's going to show you was $10. It has wavy glass, like the original wavy glass, and it is gorgeous. We have it currently on a French cleat up against the wall so it doesn't fall off and like hurt kids. But we're going to put it into working order, and I'm pretty excited about it. So hold on, Deb's bringing it out here. And it's all like crackly and stuff, so I'll probably use peel. Is it called Peel Stop, Deb? This is the original chippiness. We haven't done anything. Yeah, we didn't paint that. This came this way. I'll show them over here. He's going to bring you up close. Christy, Caitlin gave you the answer that was exactly what I was going to say. So kill them with kindness and just go about your business and paint your furniture. We get told we ruin it all the time. So this door here is going to be the pantry door, and Monday you should be able to see that. Today I got the pantry framed out. I got to finish framing the bathroom out, and then we're going to be on to fixing up floors and starting to put this thing back together pretty quickly. Well, I'm talking about the house. Yeah. Janet White, she said, thanks for all the supplies yesterday. Janet, were you the lady that came by the store? Because you look like you have red hair, but there was this lady that came by the store, and I swear she was a blonde. Maybe I got that wrong. But either way, thanks for getting supplies. But yeah, this door is going to be awesome in the pantry. I don't think we'll frost this glass. We're just going to frost We're just going to frost this glass for the bathroom door. And this glass that we're frosting is not original wavy glass. They must have replaced it. But this glass is got like seeded pieces in it, this glass of the pantry door, and it's wavy and it's original and amazingness. So yeah, we're actually keeping all the original windows except for there's an aluminum one we'll replace because of the beautiful glass that's in it. And we're gonna just seal them up really good because I love original glass. It's my favorite. They can't see what you're painting. You're painting away from it. Oh, it was Jeanette. She's like, I color my hair a lot, LOL. Scooch. Hold on. Scooch. Stop scooching me. I'm trying to. She says the door is stunning. Yeah, that door's going to be awesome. Favorite. Oh, it was her. That's all right. I changed my hairstyle a lot. Zeb used to say he never knew what wife he was going to come home to because I used to color, I don't color my hair anymore. I haven't colored it for probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. I colored it like twice in the last 8 years, but right now it's all natural. But anyways, I used to have different color hair. Sometimes it was perm, sometimes it was straight. It was always exciting.
So I'm gonna paint this handle and all. We'll see what comes off the handle. It's plastic, so I don't know what'll stick. I'm assuming this box is probably from...
You're painting the handle too?
Yeah, it'll all chip off. It was easier than taping it off, and most of it's gonna chip off anyway. But the, I'm gonna assume it's probably from the 70s or 80s. Just based off of the logo for the Craftsman.
So if it's from the 80s, that means it's not that old, because that's when I was born.
Yeah, it's not old at all then. It's super young.
The older I get, the like younger every age is. Like I used to think 40 was kind of getting up there when I was like in my teens. And now I'm like, nope, 40 is not old because I'm going to be there in 4 years. Actually, I'm going to be there in 3 years.
So we're hoping, we put the extra bond in there, but we're hoping since it's shiny metal, and I didn't really clean it or do anything, that we will get some good chipping here and there, and some of this milk paint comes off.
I have a mirror that I have bleed through. Spray shellac would be too hard. Oh, I saw this question earlier. So just use the shellac that comes in a can and put it on with like a chip brush, so that way you could just throw it away when you're done, because those are kind of disposable. And yeah, you can use shellac not in a spray can. I just use it in a spray can for ease of use. Because if you use a brush, it's horrible to get it clean. But if you just use a chip brush, especially since it's a mirror, that'll work just fine. Ooh, Debbie says, I used my milk paint for the first time today. I love it. For what is the extra bond? So milk paint, true milk paint always comes in a powdered form. I get asked that a lot. If you buy milk paint and it comes like this and it's already mixed up, it's not the same milk paint that we use. It's more of like an acrylic type base.
So it comes in powder because it'll go bad like milk.
Yeah, so you only mix up what you're going to use. But the natural properties of milk paint, the way that it's made to get super chippy. So when you're on something like this, where it's a, did you put a lot of bond in that?
I put the recommended amount.
Oh, okay, good. When it's on something like this, where it's slick, shiny, like this metal is super shiny, you got to add extra bond, or else this would like chip off in sheets. So let's see.
And this pantry door is kind of like a fun, really old, like minty kind of green.
So let's see, Colleen McCall says, tell us again about your new brush line. All right, so since I have a stencil line, JRB Stencils, that we sell on our website that we're working on, we're opening up to retailers so other people can sell it as well. My manufacturer that makes my other Paint Pixie brushes came to me and said, we would like to create a signature line for you. And this happened, I don't know.
Last week?
Well, last week we signed the contract. But it happened probably a good month or so ago, and I was like, of course, because I actually know Josie like on a personal level. We're super good friends. She makes an amazing product. And so we signed up with her to have our own signature line, which we will be selling. And then her retailers will also be selling it, and she will also be selling it. So anybody that sells Paint Pixie can sell the JRB stencil brushes. And they're not like your typical stencil brushes. They're super well made, just like our stencils. So they're made to, you buy it and then you can use it for a ton of products or projects, and they come in 4 sizes. We'll have them to show, maybe next week we'll bring them to show you. But that way, if you want to get more detailed with your stencil, use multiple colors, have smaller areas, instead of just using one color, they'll really help out for that. And we have our biggest brush it's kind of like the little C that you guys see me using, but it has a better handle on it, and it's really ergonomically correct, which I am super excited about. So yeah, we've got that coming out. That's our new JRB line of stencil brushes. So, all right, what colors will be good for the fall season for furniture? So for fall, think Queen Bee, which is kind of a mustardy color. You can actually add a little bit of brown to it if you want to make it more mustard. Or what's the mustard color of Sweet Pickens?
Oh, curry.
Curry.
Curry is an amazing color.
Yeah,
I
curry
love
is so pretty. We sell a ton of it. That's Sweet Pickens. Navy, so navy blues from Sweet Pickens, or Hey Sailor from
so you're not supposed to wear navy after Labor Day, right? Or is that white?
White. You're so funny. Anyways, and I actually love to take colors like this sage green color that I mixed up here and mix that with navy for the fall. I feel like that's really pretty. A few years ago, I decorated with navy, mustard, white and like an apothecary-ish color, and it was so pretty for the fall.
So that color that you mixed up with the apothecary and gypsy green is almost identical to the pantry door
That's
color.
what I was going for. It's a little bit deeper. DIY paint has new colors coming out pretty soon, so that's going to be coming out in about a month. So we're super excited about that. IOD is going to be coming out with new stuff. Like, life is so good right now in the DIY world. We're good, all the good stuff. And our new stencil line will be out August 15th, and I've got a fall line and then a bunch of new stuff added to it.
So we've had several questions lately. Are we going to have Christmas stencils? So the Christmas stencils we have will be back.
And we will create new
And
ones.
we're going to have new ones for the season too. So keep an eye out for those.
Fall stencils come out August 15th. You can expect the Christmas stencils will be available about September 15th. I like to stagger them a little bit, but wanting to give them to you in plenty of time for the holidays. So I've already started my idea board and started doing my design work for my Christmas line. And then if I can squeeze out any more time, I would like to do a coastal and bohemian line, because I'm going to be having retailers. That has been one of the big demands people have been asking for, is coastal and bohemian. So definitely working on that.
All right, this is painted.
Oh,
I may paint the bottom because I have a lot of extra paint. I'm going to do it. This side is going to get a little crusty.
Oh.
But that's okay.
For all you people that want us to paint the bottoms.
The bottom is actually rusty, so I'm not sure how well this will actually sit on there.
Okay, so more corbels.
More corbels, like more corbel designs.
Oh man, we will create some corbel designs for our house, and then they'll be available for purchase.
I'll show you some of the corbels we're thinking of using. We have that.
These ones, I don't think we're gonna sell these ones.
We're not gonna sell these ones, but it's a fun thing to show them.
Yeah.
So we have that big open beam that kind of ties the house together, east and west, and supports the north and south running beams for the ceiling supports. And we want to put, it basically frames the kitchen, and we want to put corbels on there. And I made Jamie some corbels for our anniversary last year. Let me go grab one and I'll show you what they look like. We're thinking that these would look really cool in there. They may be too big.
I don't know.
So we'll see.
It's a big open space. All right, so I can't remember who it is. It looks like it's gone off there, but somebody asked for a kind of a sneak peek or just like a description of fall stencils. So you can expect some traditional fall stencils with fall inspired words and very farmhouse. I am creating some all over stencils that can be used for raised stenciling or to use on tile. So I'm excited about that. I have some floral. And I will tell you, we are getting a grain sack stencil, so super excited about that. So the stripes, the grain sack stripes are coming. I can't remember like what else did I design. I designed so many stinking stencils, but that's a little like snippet of what's coming.
So these corbels here, you may have seen them in a couple of bedroom tours and things, and they're a year old now. I made them for Jamie a year ago. They get a little bit of dust on them.
Hey,
I
don't
moved.
dust. That's patina. You know we sell aging
Natural
dust.
age.
We sell aging dust. This is like natural aging
So
dust.
I painted these with flour sack and milk paint, and then I oil waxed them with the dark oil wax, and they got this kind of age on them. Let me show you the good crackle.
If you're just tuning in, all the paints that we're talking about, you can pick up at jamirayvintage.com. We get asked, I feel like I say it a lot, but we get asked all the time, where do I get this? So we just want to make sure people know.
So yeah, that's the corbel. I've got a pair of them. I made two, and they hang out on our nightstands
But I
currently.
feel like they're a little large for our nightstands, but I don't really have anywhere else to put them. And I feel like they need, you worked really hard on them, and they're kind of awesome, so they need a place of
Your
prominence.
dad helped me paint these.
My dad?
Yeah, he was in the video with me.
Oh, don't talk about it. I miss, my parents are supposed to be here right now, but they've both been in the hospital recently, so my mom and dad weren't able to come. We're hoping in the next month to get them up here. Because my dad was a general contractor, so he wants to come advise, tell us what to do with the house. Oops, I got drips.
All right, I
Nobody
think
told
I
me.
still have more milk paint, so I'm gonna paint the handles on this. You think that'll be okay in pantry door?
Yeah, it's fine. Or you can paint the candlesticks.
Yep, I'm gonna just keep painting until I run out of paint.
Yeah, because the paint doesn't keep, so you gotta use it all up. These candlesticks are kind of slick, as is that box, so it's going to take at least 2 coats to get good coverage. So make sure you leave some extra.
So if you guys have a little bit of skill with the jigsaw, I have a whole video on making those corbels.
Yeah.
Just look up Jami Ray Vintage corbel on YouTube in the search, and it should come up. And I don't know if I go super in depth step by step, but you could probably recreate them pretty easy. They're big, so they're not something we ship. They're like 26 inches tall or something like that.
But we do have a lot of corbels on our website, and we will create some specific corbels for this house that you might see like underneath the hood in the kitchen or whatever, and we'll have those up on the website. Zeb will design them so he can mass produce them.
So Sharon has a question. Is there a rule of thumb for what to pay per month for a booth? We have a formula that we use.
Do we have a formula?
Yes.
My formula was whatever Molly told me.
Yeah, but I think it was more for a market formula, but I think it would work for a booth too. 10%
of what you think you'll sell at a market should be what you'll pay for it. And so I guess the booth would be the same. So if your booth, although here's the thing, I paid 15%.
That's true.
So that doesn't really work.
You paid 15% commission on all sales plus our rental.
Yeah, so we got a deal because we had social media presence and we advertised for the shop. So I really, honestly, I'm not super well versed in that. And I also know that every location is different. Depending on what your shop owner is paying for rent, that's going to adjust what you can expect to pay them. Because obviously if they have an expensive rent, then they're going to charge more for their space. All right, I'm getting this out of there.
I'm just looking through comments, guys, to see.
Sorry.
If
I'm pretty much done.
Anita Kennedy, my life would be better with that door.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but this door.
She wants to know if our new house can go without it.
Nope. I love this door.
We also have another green door over here that we've been hauling around since Harrington was like barely walking.
And I can't live without that door either, so don't show people. I've had that door since Odelia was a baby. So I've had that door for like 14 years.
Yeah.
When I find good junk, it doesn't usually leave my hands.
So we'll probably find a place in the new house for that too.
What color is Zeb using? Vintage Sin asks. He's using milk paint in pantry door. And ironically enough, since we're talking about pantry doors, Sasha from Sweet Pickens, her pantry door that she had in her old house, and I believe, did she put it up in her new house? I don't know if she has yet. But her pantry door from her old house had original paint on it, and it was this color. And so she created this color to match her pantry door because she loved it that much. So that's why it's called pantry door.
All right, I'm gonna flip this back over on its side, or off its side. Look, we're getting some.
Yes, Catherine, we are live right now.
Peeling.
See, I'm gonna go over this and just see if I mix them.
Do you guys want me to heat gun this and see what it'll look like chipped? We'll heat gun that in a second. I'll wait.
Zeb is so excited about the store, Kai says. He knows what he's doing in every area, and Jamie, I started it all. Zeb is, so, I don't know if you guys know this about us, it's probably pretty evident. I'm like the realist in the situation. I'm like the meat and potatoes, like making everything, but I'm also really good at like problem solving and figuring things, like making things happen. And Zeb is the eternal optimist. And I wouldn't say I'm a pessimist, I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, and he's definitely on the right side of that. So between the two of us, we wind up being like partially real and partially optimistic. Like that's a good balance.
Here's the thing though, I usually follow through on my optimism. Like
we want you to bust out the heat gun.
Okay. Like, I've been telling you things I'm going to do in the house, and you're like, yeah, really? And now I'm doing them, right?
Oh, Pamela, do not remove the top 2 little drawers on your Eastlake dresser. That is what makes it quintessentially Eastlake. Absolutely leave those on there. I have sold many dressers like that, and they do sell very, very well. Eastlake in non-painted condition can actually be worth a lot of money if it's in good shape.
If it's refinished.
We actually have an Eastlake mirror harp, just the mirror harp. So the thing that the mirror goes in, not even the dresser. And we got a smoking deal on it, and it was $75. So the dresser with the drawers is going to be worth more. And they're so cute, the little Eastlake drawers.
I'd be curious to see, last time we milk painted shiny candlesticks like this, we didn't have extra bond in, and I would say a good 70% of the paint chipped off because they're shiny. Like, when we say shiny, you can kind of see your reflection in them. Yeah, it did have some wax. We just went for it. All right, I'm going to go grab the heat gun.
Okay, and then I'll keep painting. They said, so when Zeb says it'll be okay, that's also his life philosophy. Yup.
Here's the thing. If this all goes south, I'm happy living in the woods in a box.
How was the paint on the outside furniture holding up? Great. In fact, we even used a DI or an IOD transfer on a piece of glass, and then I sealed it with Kills Clear. It's an outdoor sealer you can get at the hardware store, and it has held up great. One of the things I did though is I first sealed it with Sweet Pickens Top Coat, which is a non-toxic sealer, just to kind of put a barrier between the transfer and the outdoor sealer, and then I used the Kills Clear over the top of that, and I haven't had any of the transfer peel up, and we've had a ton of hot weather and rain and moisture, and it's held up very well outside. Now, that being said, it is under a covered pavilion, so it doesn't get as much of the elements as if it was completely out in the sun every day. But I've been really pleased, except for my kids did spill an entire citronella candle on my coffee table. So there's a spot that's a little bit darker because the wax just like.
It got, well, it was super hot outside. It was like 100 plus possibly.
Yeah.
And
we maybe should have put a few extra coats of sealer on it, but it's just patina. So, you know, it happens.
That citronella candle was like liquid from that heat.
Yeah. Thanks, kids.
Let me bring you up close.
Utah
see if we get some
isn't
good
that
sheeping.
humid though, although we have had the wettest spring and summer we have ever had. I put all that outdoor stuff out there and people are like, well, what about the weather? I'm like, oh, it doesn't rain here that much, and it's rained a ton. It rained today.
All right, here we go, heat gun. See if we can get this thing dry and chipping.
Patty, if you go to Caitlin, if you scroll up, Caitlin put the link in there to our website. I should know it by heart now, but anyways, jrvwholesale.com, or you can email info@jrvwholesale.
Oh, sorry guys.
And if you scroll up, you can find it. Sorry.
That got crazier than I wanted it to with one-handing the heat gun. All right, answer your question loud because I'm right here with the heat gun showing them the crackle.
If you scroll up, Caitlin just put all the links for getting the retailers. So, and if you still can't find it, you can always message us on Facebook and we'll get you the links. Let's see. When will you be taking apart our pavilion? Yes. Because we haven't got to use it much. And the pavilion, we haven't decided if we're going to put it at the shop or at our house because we have. Well, hopefully we have a pool going in the backyard, and we're going to have a big deck, so I don't know if there's space for the pavilion and the kids' swings and trampoline and everything else. So if it doesn't fit in the new yard, we'll put it at the shop.
Sorry for all the shaking. That was difficult with one hand.
Did you have lots of good crack?
I've got some good crack going on.
Sorry, Elizabeth, the small transfer that has 4 on it is the smallest transfers, but what you can do is you can take some of the bigger ones that have lots of floral and just cut around them for what you need, and you can put those on there. I think that the one with 4 has kind of bigger flowers on it, but like the Winter Song has a bunch of different ones. You can totally just cut out what would fit on your smaller mirror, and then you can use it for a lot of different projects. I'm not being rude, but why do you use very few paint colors like the same colors on these 3 items? Is there a reason for this? So, in our shop space, you're going to see pink and white and black and green and navy blue and all that kind of stuff because we will do groupings. Like today, everything's these colors, but the next time, it might be black or it might be a gray. And then once we put it in the shop, we break it all up and it makes sense. So rather than using a bunch of different paint brushes and colors, we just usually will do a grouping of the same colors at the same time. It's just makes a lot more sense for workflow. And if you're going to be spraying stuff, we suggest that you do the same thing. That you take all of your items, you separate it out based off the colors you want, and then just paint one color at a time. And then when you mix mix it all together, nobody will ever know because there's all different colors.
It makes it really, really easy.
So Zeb is using Pantry Door. This color is very similar, but this is actually Apothecary mixed with Gypsy Green because I wanted a more sage color.
It is a little darker now that it's drying. It's not quite as bright as the Pantry Door.
A treadle sewing machine top that's gotten badly warped and is delaminated badly. How would you fix that?
I'm assuming delaminating that the veneer is all peeling off and it's probably bubbling and chipping. I would either A, get rid of all that old veneer and see if you can sand it down, and B, if it's not a veneer, you might be looking at having to replace it or do something similar to that, but save the old top and use it as a template for your new top if you go that route.
That would be smart. All right, Kelly Renshaw. So if you don't have a bird, one of two things happen. If you tried to sign up, maybe your card didn't go through, or two, you're logged in under a different account, like a different Gmail account, so make sure that you paid under the right YouTube account. Also check your checking statement and just see if it came through. If you still have questions, you can email customercare@jamirayvintage.com and we'll try to help you. But we don't handle the billing, YouTube does, so we're kind of limited, but we'll help you troubleshoot.
So fun thing on the channel membership, it is the beginning of the month, so we will have another chapter coming out. We also, I'm just seeing if I can wet distress it and get some of this so it crackled, but it didn't chip.
Oh, you're going to wet distress and then you're going to use the heat gun and see if you can get it to chip.
Yeah.
That happens.
So
be
this is
careful
just damp.
because sometimes it gets too chippy.
I don't think it can get too chippy on this.
The toolbox will be used to be a toolbox.
Yeah.
People use them to store craft supplies in them, or tools, or hair supplies, or sometimes, like I know cake decorators that store all of their bags and stuff in the bottom and then all their tips on the top. So it's just a really good box for that. They're really well made because they're all metal, so they're not like a cheap plastic box that will break over time.
I may leave it like this.
You may leave it like that.
I may not hit it with the heat gun anymore.
Oh, is it doing good? Is it doing good work?
Yeah. It's
also, if you have a lot of kids like us, we have one that has first aid supplies because we need about that many Band-Aids.
I'll bring it up close in a minute and show you guys the close-up so I don't have to shake the camera around all crazy.
Tammy, if you're just starting out and you can't afford to be in a store, you're going to have to work that online space. So you could try Etsy, although I could say I'm not professional. Yard sale groups, Facebook pages, even Craigslist, I guess, is probably an option. In Utah, we have what's called KSL. People list on there too. And just work that social media as good as you can and try to make sure that you're taking really great pictures. I know we did how to stage furniture about 2 years ago. So if you type in Jami Ray Vintage stage furniture, that video should pop up. But social media and the internet is going to be your best bet until you can afford to get a shop space.
Well, it also helps get your name out there and get you known, and you'll start taking custom work and all kinds of things like that will start happening as the more you put yourself out there.
Tammy says Let Go works for her. Let Go doesn't work here because everybody uses Facebook Marketplace, but in an area where Facebook Marketplace isn't as popular, Let Go, and I think there's a few other apps, you would definitely try that. Let's see. Oh, Tom said store ownership is awesome. Tom Fisher. You make your own rules and watch your store grow. We are on our 3rd expansion. That's awesome.
Well,
so Tom, are you still selling out of your barn or do you have a retail space somewhere else? I'm curious because I haven't checked.
All I know is I saw his new shop and I was like, wow, that's
nice.
impressive.
I think for me the hard thing is I have so much going on and so many kids. I just have to make sure that I hire amazing people that can help me run the shop so that way I'm not feel like I'm married to it, because I want to be able to do all the things that I do, go thrifting and junking and read stories to my kids and push Jack on the swing and do YouTube videos and renovate a house. Like we have a lot of different things that we like to do, so I just have to make sure that we keep it balanced.
All right, so I'm getting some pretty good chipping and I'm getting some good wet distressing. It's still not completely dry in some areas.
So they wanted to know if this is mid-chip. So if you heat gun that, it'll make it less like streaky and it'll make the chipping better.
Well,
this is actually pantry door milk paint.
I probably should have put a second coat on, but with that extra brine, you gotta kind of work quick if you're gonna wet distress it.
So to mount the corbels in the corners of a doorway, we actually have a video. What is that one called? Is it like the hallway makeover?
Might be somewhere in there.
Yeah. We toenailed them in. It's hard to kind of explain that, but if you go to Jami Ray Vintage, type in Jami Ray Vintage hallway. Pretty sure that's what it is. We actually installed some in our hallway, and Zeb goes over in great detail. If you can't find the video, message us on Facebook, and I'll see if I can search for it.
All right, I'm gonna hit it with some more heat.
Cassandra, they are coming out probably within the next month, but I don't know what's public knowledge and what isn't, so I'm not going to answer that question, but I can just tell you they're coming. Let's see, can Kiehl's clear coat be used as a sealer for painted kitchen counters? I wouldn't think so. I would use epoxy if you can on your counters. We're actually going to be doing concrete countertops in our new house, and we're going to be working with epoxy to seal them with, so we'll let you know. April has a good suggestion. She said, create a text club for your local shop to drive in traffic. I think that's a good idea. Oh, it's 9:26. We've been on almost an hour. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got a little bit of streakiness where I didn't quite get a second coat. I don't know if it needs a second coat. I feel like it works.
I feel like you need to second.
I might sand it, like actual
Show
sand it.
them though what you did with the water, because I get asked all the time, how I can't get it to crackle. If you come back with water, show them the top. It's good. It's good crackle.
So you can see it's a little streaky. I needed a second coat on there, but we'll either come back with the second coat, or we will.
We paid $5 for the toolbox, and painted. I'm probably going to sell it for about $24.95, and we'll go to seal it. We probably will seal it with just like clear wax. Will work. Yeah. On it, or
it's stuck pretty good to the metal.
Yeah, once milk paint has decided to stick, it usually doesn't unstick. Oh, new member, welcome, Lisa Lacey. Vintage Sin says that toolbox looks awesome. All right,
thank you.
So on this corbel, because I'm not going to get it finished tonight, the way we're going to finish it is I'll probably do one more touch-up coat, but not full coverage, just a few areas where it's streaky because it's almost full coverage. Then I'll wet distress all the detailed areas. And surprise, surprise, it's going to get some white wax. Shocking.
But that'll bring all those highs and lows out.
And I feel like white wax makes it, kind of gives it a little French country vibe. If Zeb had his way, he would dark oil wax everything.
I love the dark oil wax. It just looks so old and crusty. All right. I love it.
Zeb, you want to give me that damp rag and I'll kind of show him. So when I wet distress, I just take a damp rag. Now this isn't dry all the way, so I'm going to kind of be careful. And I just pull that paint back off. And any of the paints we sell will do that, which is awesome because until you seal them, they're water soluble. So you can just kind of bring out the detail on the piece without having to use sandpaper and get dust everywhere. So, I don't know. Can they see that? Can you see that in the thing?
I don't know. I'll bring them close.
Okay.
We'll go flying.
It's better to wait till your paint's all the way dry, but this will give you the basic idea.
And don't forget to go to JamiRayVintage.com.
Yeah, so if you like the paint we use today, be sure to go to JamiRayVintage.com. Also, if you look at the bottom of our videos now, we have some Teespring shirts for our new stencil company. So if you want to wear some of those, we have those down there, and we'll come up with some new designs. I ordered some new logo wear that I'm excited about, but I got to try it out first, and if I like it, we'll get it up on the website. I ordered some joggers, a workout tank top, and an apron. So we'll check out the quality and let you guys know. All right. It's that time of night.
It is that time of night.
It is that time of night. It is 9:28. We've been on here almost an hour.
We will see you guys Monday. We've got a fun video. Well, Jamie's worried that the house videos are going to start to become tedious because we're entering that stage.
Say that.
A little bit.
I just said, let's think of ways to make them more exciting.
Well, we're to that stage where like each project takes more than a day to get it done. And so it's taking me a lot longer to do things now than just ripping everything out and throwing it in the dump.
Yeah, the rebuild takes a little bit, but we will have some videos coming up. So if you haven't hit subscribe, notifications, share this video with your friends. That would help us grow a lot. And as you see posts coming out about all of our new exciting things, if you guys can hit the share button on Facebook or the double tap the heart button on Instagram or thumbs up on YouTube, all of that helps us grow. And we appreciate every like, every heart, every comment means a lot to us. I actually read every single comment that comes on Instagram and Facebook Zeb reads all of the YouTube comments, and we love them, and we love you guys. So
we appreciate it lots and lots and lots. Also, comment below if you want to see me wear the GoPro underneath the crawl space to put the plumbing in.
Oh, that crawl space is scary. And don't forget to go to JamiRayVintage.com. We love you. Bye, guys.